I found the lipstick on his collar first. A smudge of a shade I never wore, a brazen, unapologetic crimson that screamed "not me." It was a Tuesday, ordinary in every way until that moment, and the silence in our kitchen, usually filled with the clatter of our morning routine, became deafening. My stomach dropped. Not in a "oh, he's working late" kind of way, but a cold, hard plummet that threatened to break something vital inside me. I'd felt it coming, a subtle shift in his energy, a new guardedness that had been gnawing at me for weeks. But the lipstick. It was concrete. Undeniable. I remember standing there, the coffee mug still in my hand, growing cold. My mind raced, replaying every late night, every vague excuse, every unanswered text. The woman's scent, faint but distinct, clung to him. It wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. His choice. That night, I didn't confront him. I couldn't. The shock was too raw, the betrayal too sharp. Instead, I watched him. I observed the way he'd flinch when his phone buzzed, the way his eyes would dart around when he thought I wasn't looking. I became a detective in my own life, meticulously gathering evidence. The proof came in a series of hushed phone calls from the other room, the hurried departures, the sudden aversion to sharing our bed. I found saved messages on his cloud account, declarations of love, plans for secret rendezvous, photos that made my blood run cold. Her name was Chloe, a name I'd never heard before. Each discovery was like a tiny shard of glass embedding itself deeper into my heart. I cried, of course. I screamed into pillows. I paced the floor until my feet ached. But somewhere in the depths of my despair, something shifted. The pain began to morph into a cold, simmering rage. I started planning. It wasn't about saving the marriage anymore. It was about making him feel a fraction of the humiliation, the gut-wrenching pain he'd inflicted on me. And I wanted it to be creative. Something he wouldn't see coming. Something that would leave a lasting impression. My first thought was the obvious, exposing him. But that felt too easy, too quick. I wanted to draw it out. I wanted to shatter his carefully constructed facade, not just for myself, but for everyone he pretended to be in front of. I remembered his obsession with his online gaming persona. He'd spent hours cultivating this image of a stoic, successful player, a legend in his own right. He had a dedicated following, people who hung on his every word. That's where I'd strike. Over the next few weeks, while he was out on his business trips with Chloe, I went to work. I befriended some of his more hardcore fans on his gaming forums. I listened to their complaints about his increasingly flaky behavior, his missed streams, his vague excuses. They were already suspicious. Then came the piece de resistance. I created a fake email address, a burner. I sent carefully crafted messages to Chloe, posing as a concerned friend of her husband's. I fed her just enough information to make her doubt him. I hinted at his other indiscretions, subtly planting seeds of paranoia. I wanted them to turn on each other. And then, the grand finale. I bought a cheap, disposable phone. On the night of his annual company gala, an event he'd specifically told me he had to miss due to a last-minute work emergency, I made my move. Chloe was supposed to be his plus one. I dressed in a stunning, figure-hugging red dress. I walked into the gala, not with him, but alone. The whispers started immediately. My husband's colleagues, his boss, all looking at me with confusion, then shock. I plastered a smile on my face, a smile that felt like it was made of glass, ready to shatter. And then I saw him. Across the crowded room, his jaw went slack. His eyes widened in disbelief. Beside him stood Chloe, looking equally stunned, her carefully applied makeup suddenly seeming to sweat under the glare of the chandeliers. I walked right up to him, my heels clicking purposefully on the polished floor. "Darling," I said, my voice clear and steady, loud enough for a few people to hear. I leaned in, as if to whisper a secret, but my words were for everyone. "I was wondering when you'd show up. I was starting to think you'd forgotten about me again." His face drained of color. Chloe looked from him to me, a dawning horror on her face. I could see the gears turning, the realization of the trap clicking into place. I didn't wait for him to respond. I turned, gave Chloe a tight, knowing smile, and walked away, leaving a trail of stunned silence and a ripple of gossip in my wake. I left him that night. I packed my bags while he was still trying to stammer out apologies to Chloe and his bewildered colleagues. The relief I felt was immense, like a physical weight being lifted from my shoulders. The aftermath wasn't easy. There were tears, anger, and the slow, painful process of rebuilding. But I'd done it. I'd taken my pain and transformed it into something powerful. I hadn't sought revenge for revenge's sake, but for closure. To reclaim my dignity. And in the end, that felt more satisfying than anything. Sometimes, when I see a bright red lipstick in a store window, I feel a pang. But it's not the pain of betrayal anymore. It's the quiet hum of resilience. The knowledge that I survived. And that I came out the other side, not broken, but beautifully, fiercely, whole.